The tax filing deadline on April 15th is just over a month away. A new study shows the average American only scores 51% or an F on a basic quiz about income taxes. In this morning's Eye on Money, CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger brings down the biggest questions. Good morning.
Good morning.
Why don't we start with the biggest questions?
Well, you know, I think the big question is, oh my God, I have a month to go. What do I do right now? So it's really about getting organized. So gather up your tax documents, the W-2s, the 1099s. Take out your credit card statements from last year. You're going to be looking for some deductions. Maybe pull out last year's tax return. Use that as a guide. You will get through this, I promise, but you have to start somewhere.
So should you do it yourself or should you hire somebody?
I think this is also a big
for
question.
all the F people out there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, if you've got a simple financial life, I'm a wage employee, I claim the standard deduction, it isn't that hard to do it yourself, I swear. You can maybe even use the free file software from the IRS if you make less than $60,000. I should also mention there are some services that are really helpful for low and middle income taxpayers. This is the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. There's also assistance for the elderly. If you have a very complicated financial life, you may want to hire a tax pro. It'll cost you a few bucks, but it may be worth it because maybe you really do need some help.
What about filing online versus on paper?
This is a great statistic. IRS says the error rate to file online is less than 1%. Paper returns? 20%. Wow. So it really is better to try to do it online. I know there are people who are a little nervous about their electronic security. Do it online.
Audits up or down?
Down, because big cuts in the IRS budget. About 1 million returns will be audited. That doesn't mean you should be careless. The big problem that flags an audit, a red flag, not claiming income that has been reported to you.
And so what happens, you know you've got to pay taxes, but you also know you don't have the money to pay the taxes.
Don't hide, because I mean, really, you have to go ahead and file, and there are a lot of ways that you can actually get in big trouble if you don't file. It can cost you penalties. Penalties and interest can cost over 25% of what you owe. So you want to tell the IRS, here's what I owe. I can't pay it now. You can get a 120-day extension. You can try to get a compromise. You could put it on a credit card. Not my favorite thing, because that's very costly. Be very clear, do file. That's my big warning to you.
What about IRA contributions?
$5,500 or $6,500 if you're over the age of 50. Roth, you don't get a deduction right now. A traditional IRA, you do get a deduction today, but you have to pay tax when you pull the money out later in retirement.
So bottom line, it's a good idea to put money in an IRA.
If you can, please do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Always good advice. Thank you, Jill. So do you still have questions for Jill? So you can ask her on Twitter by using the hashtag. It's called #BeReady. Then go to cbsnews.com/eyeonmoney to join the conversation with Jill and the Voya team.